Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel on Finding Your Path, Your Best Emotional and Physical Health. My name is Erin, and please don't forget, if you like what you hear and you want to catch up on more videos as they come out, don't forget to hit subscribe. And also please feel free to download my 5 free videos on your tips to finding your best emotional and physical health to kind of get you started on your way. So today I just wanted to continue with our series on trauma and developmental trauma, complex PTSD, all of that, so that we can kind of start going over the trauma types to help you figure out which type you are, which type your loved ones are, those kinds of things. If you're in a relationship that seems to be struggling with intimacy, this might help you as well. So then we can get into a little bit of the treatment side a little bit later on. But let's kind of start going over those trauma types. So today I want to talk about the 10 ways that you can identify what the fight trauma type is like. So anytime someone that has had childhood trauma, early developmental trauma, whatever you want to call it, attachment issues, they're going to be ambivalent about intimacy because they are going to avoid closeness as those closeness things trigger those negative feelings and emotional flashbacks, which they don't want to deal with or they can't deal with. They don't have the wherewithal yet. So we kind of want to be aware of those and just figure out, okay, what is kind of going on here so that we're not angry at the person for behavior that they can't control or can't deal with. Now, we can always be hopeful that they'll get on their path to healing and kind of feel a little bit better about themselves overall when they understand some of these concepts. So let's talk about some of the 10 signs that if someone is a fight trauma type. So the very number one is they kind of avoid intimacy actually by alienating others with demand and control. So you kind of got to be aware of somebody that tries to get into that kind of control aspect, and they kind of use it as a barrier between themselves and the other people. They want other people to kind of do what they say and not engage in a relationship where there's some give and take. Okay, so that's how they avoid intimacy. They also believe that power and control will create their safety because it's really a threat response. That's the number 2. So that they have this belief system that if they control everything around them and control the others around them, that they will be safe, okay? Because that's the only way they can kind of make sure that their environment is the way that they need it to be. So the other one is their survival pattern is, of course, again, they're going to continue to pursue that power and control. That's number 3. Number 4, again, they connect to others by controlling them, okay? So is there a controlling behavior? You're going to start to see a theme here. There's a lot of control in this particular trauma type, and it's control and or that, but they still call it the fight one because that's what they're going to kind of end up doing if they can't get control. So that's the next one, number 5, which is their threat response, which is to attack. So when they can't get control and they feel like their safety and security is threatened, they are going to attack. They're the ones that are going to kind of have those behaviors, and we'll talk more of it a little bit later. So their common characteristics, number 6, is going to be that monologuing, that lecturing, the criticizing. That's that attacking behavior where they're trying to get someone to understand or to just do what they say. They may rage. Those are the ones that can kind of be a little bit difficult with that. And they are going to try to push their ideas and their way of being on others. Okay, so that's the ones that we have to be really, really careful of. Their decision-making style is rather impulsive, so just kind of be aware of that when they make a decision about what to do in a relationship, what to do in their lives, they're just going to do it, okay? That's a number 7. Number 8 is going to be they actually avoid isolation. This is their relationship to others and whether or not they isolate or engage, and they actually will engage with other people because that's what they need to figure out how to get in with other people and then make that control thing. So they are actually going to avoid isolation because if they isolate, there's no one or anything to control but themselves, and that's not comfortable for them either. Okay. Number 9, I'm sorry, is about their relationship with perfection. They have a tendency to demand perfection of others, and that can be somewhat of an issue in their relationship, okay? So if you have someone that's kind of doing that, you may consider this may be a little bit of their trauma type, and then we can talk about eventually some ways to kind of start working on healing and some therapeutic goals. Number 10 is some of the things that these trauma types are mislabeled as, and in each series we're going to go over what the common misdiagnoses are, or I mean, they're not misdiagnoses because these people really can have these symptoms and need treatment for these ideas and these things that are kind of going on with them, but they manifest as a result of a reaction to early childhood trauma. And if you're doing trauma-informed treatment, or you're trying to understand, the basis for someone's development of these disorders, childhood trauma is kind of some of the start of a lot of it. I mean, I have yet to find someone that does not have some connection issue that ends up with depression, anxiety. There's some pure biological ones, but very, very rare do we even see them in therapy, because they heal with medicine or with supplements and those kinds of things, because they have that biological kind of problematic functioning of either their serotonin system or something like that. And those people are the ones that pure healing from their supplements and their medications, preferably their supplements, if they can kind of just get a little bit, their lifestyle a little bit organized, and they can feel a lot better. So anyway, these people that are the fight types are often mislabeled as the narcissists. Sometimes you might have heard, okay, the narcissists are low self-esteem. That's true, and that's part of it because it's childhood trauma. They sometimes are labeled a sociopath. That can be a little bit scary, right? Often conduct disorder, right? Antisocial. They kind of get into those realms of being with a little bit of practice. So, and I'll close a little bit, just explain like where some of this developed from some of this childhood experiences. So someone that has actually been spoiled, which is actually kind of a different form of abandonment or childhood trauma. When you don't provide a child with limits, you don't help them learn to structure themselves. So on some levels, that's a form of just emotional abandonment, because you're not there to help them with ups and downs. It's just like everything's got to be up, and they have difficulty understanding emotions because they're expected to be a certain way. And so they get this false sense of self-esteem because they've been given everything and told that they need to be everything. So then when they can't be everything and no one's there to deal with what they can't be and to deal with the downs of life, they really, really struggle, and that's where they get that low self-esteem, because it seems like contraindicated, because if they're spoiled, they should have high self-esteem, but usually that's not the case. They just get stuck in this idea that they don't know how to recover and deal with the negatives as well as the positives. There's just a lack of balance in that kind of life. So that's the fight type. So stay tuned, and we'll get into some of the other types as we go on. So thank you for joining me. If you think you need some personal coaching on some of these things, please contact me on the website, and we can start getting you hooked up on moving forward and finding your best path to recovery. Thank you so much, and have a great day.